rudely interrupted by myself. Hi, Glenn. Listen.
Hey, welcome back, Steph. Hey, no apologies. Look, when duty calls.
That's right.
T-Y, when it calls, you know.
Duty called, yes. Duty, so to speak. Okay, listen. You were happy clappy this week. You tweeted in an interview, A.G. Garland reaffirms the DOJ will charge everyone for their crimes in connection with the insurrection, regardless of status or position. That was heartening. That's what you've been telling us all along, is just at least if the American people know that something is happening. So I guess it was a good week for that, right?
And I take him at his word. You know, has it lingered too long? Yes. Has Donald Trump continued to try to destroy our democracy and recruit a second batch of insurrectionists with the big lie? Yes, he has. And that's my real beef, because we need to put a stop to that. But I take the Department of Justice at their word that they will hold everybody accountable.
Yeah. Well, and you were saying you are confident they're going to find all these missing texts and including Homeland Security officials. It's hard to say how much bigger than Watergate this is. There are a lot of tapes, like Lordy, there are a lot of tapes, right? And texts and things missing. I mean, this is, that's the one thing that struck me as the breadth of this, because the other thing we have to talk about, and you also tweet about, is Republican lawmakers' involvement. I mean, this goes through every branch of government, doesn't it?
Yeah, you know, Merrick Garland is fond of saying, and I agree with him, he said, look, we have to hold everybody accountable for their crimes, but we have to do it in a way that honors the Constitution. Now, as a former career prosecutor, I embrace and I celebrate that sentiment. We have to honor the Constitution in the way we go about investigating and prosecuting crimes. The problem is honoring the Constitution is not a sort of part-way proposition. The 14th Amendment is part of the Constitution, and the 14th Amendment says insurrectionists can't serve in public office. If you're a public official, you've taken an oath, and you participate in an insurrection, you are disqualified. That's what the Constitution says. So we have to honor the entirety of the Constitution, including the 14th Amendment, and time is running out. So the Department of Justice has to tackle these insurrectionists who are running for re-election, because if they don't, they will burrow back into government and continue to try to kill our democracy from within.
Yeah, well, this is Benny Thompson confirmed they will address Republican lawmakers' involvement in this. Lawrence Tribe, your friend, tweeted, if this was an inside job, as it appears to have been, I predict we'll see some federal criminal trials of expelled members of Congress for seditious conspiracy. And you just said from your lips, Professor Tribe, disqualifying insurrections from holding office should not be left to private citizen and nonprofits, heroic as those efforts are. I mean, this is kind of what you've always said, is this all should, at the end of the day, come from DOJ, right?
And Steph, let's be clear, the efforts being undertaken by private citizens and nonprofits, those are heroic efforts. You know, I interviewed John Bonifaz, the president of Free Speech for People. That's the organization that has been going into court and fighting like hell to disqualify Madison Cawthorn, that's now mooted out, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Gosar, Biggs. These are private citizens going into court and filing suit and fighting like all get out to keep those people from serving in Congress. That is a job for the Department of Justice. So I applaud Free Speech for People for fighting this fight on behalf of all of us. But the Department of Justice needs to step in and take on this challenge.
Yeah. So obviously, Mick Mulvaney, who was acting chief of staff, just talked to J6 committee yesterday, right? I love when he said, asked what he would tell the committee, he said the truth. How about that for a start? I was thinking what he should have said, how about that for something new from a Trump administration official? He told CNBC he resigned from his role the night of the Capitol riot. He said, I called Mike Pompeo last night to let him know I was resigning from that. I can't do it. I can't stay. So, you know, and he has previously said he believes Cassidy Hutchinson. So how significant is that, and Mnuchin and others starting to talk?
You know, it is significant. You know, there are some things that keep coming back no matter what we do, like crabgrass, mold, and Trump lackeys like Mick Mulvaney, right? Let's never forget, Steph, because they try to reinvent themselves as good guys. Let's never forget he is the one who facilitated Donald Trump leveraging congressional funds to bribe and extort President Zelensky because Donald Trump needed a dirty political favor, though. What did Mulvaney step to the mic and say after they were caught red-handed doing that in violation of the law? We do it all the time. Get over it. That's who Mick Mulvaney is. Yeah. Don't ever forget it. Now, if he's going to testify truthfully about the crimes of Donald Trump, we embrace that. But that doesn't give him a pass from all the cruddy stuff he did against the people of the United States previously.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They're all trying to just launder their own reputations at this point. You also tweeted, federal prosecutors have the phone records of Mark Meadows. Ginny Thomas might now want to be less concerned about a J6 committee subpoena and more concerned about the inevitable federal grand jury subpoena. Once again, this goes all the way to the Supreme Court, right? And by the way, this is just a conspiracy nugget. But the fact that, like, John Roberts got that story in about he really tried to stop the overturning Roe v. Wade, it makes me feel like it was someone on the right that leaked this draft memo, and my mind goes right to Ginny Thomas. But anyway, that's a separate thing. But go ahead about just
so the Mark Meadows, the fact that a federal grand jury subpoenaed and received Mark Meadows' emails back in April tells us a couple of things. One, it tells us that DOJ has been investigating at times and in ways we knew nothing about. That's very encouraging. And the other is, Ginny Thomas really needs to be concerned because she will get a federal grand jury subpoena because of the communications she had with Mark Meadows on his cell phone. But she also has a Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination, Steph, because I can recite some of her texts to Mark Meadows by heart. She said, and I quote, the Biden crime family and ballot fraudsters are being detained on barges off Gitmo, awaiting their trial, their tribunals for seditious conspiracy. Therefore, you should overturn the election's results. What she did was offer the most absurd lies to the chief of staff, to the president of the United States, as a reason to overturn the election's results. She absolutely has a Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination.